So in this short video, I'm going to be covering the importance of follow-up in your business and just a few follow-up techniques that you can use that will improve your chances of getting a sale when you follow up with somebody. And I don't know if you've ever heard this saying, but the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? The money's in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? So you definitely need to be keeping track of who you need to follow up with. And some of you have an automated system like Online Sales Pro or Builderall or Conversion Pros. You have a system that you probably use that helps keep track of your leads, which is very, very important. But if you don't do that, then you definitely need to be writing down all of your leads, everybody that you've talked to and everybody that you've shown your opportunity, product, or service to, because very shortly you need to be following up with them and seeing what they thought and obviously trying to get them to buy, right? So follow-up is extremely important, and I want to tell you a few techniques that I use for follow-up, and every business is different, so I'm going to try and make this as general as I can. Probably going to relate it back to my own personal business, so I hope you gain some value out of this video. But when we're following up with people, you need to make sure that you're following up in a relatively short amount of time. So your first follow-up should really only be 2 or 3 days after you talk to somebody. I think 3 days at the most, okay? And when you do follow up with somebody, there's a couple different techniques that you can use, okay? Number one is the urgency technique, and number two is the I'm trying to give it a name. I would say it's the, are you really going to do it technique? Okay, let's call it that. Are you going to really do it technique? Okay, so number one is the urgency technique. So you've already shown somebody your opportunity, product, or service. And when you follow up with them, you say something like, and let's use the name John again in this example. I think John's going to be the name in every example. So, okay, so we're going to say, hey, John, thanks a lot for checking out my opportunity. Right now, my spots are filling up really, really fast for my training. I have about hundreds of people I need to get back to. Let's get you in on the training today. And that's it, right? Let's get you in on the training right now. Let's get you making money right away. Let's get you set up with whatever product or service you're offering, right? So let's get you set up today. So you're going to hit them with urgency, follow up, say, hey, how you doing? Boom. And then let them know you're super busy. You've got a lot going on. Let's get you set up right now. Right now is the best time, okay? So that's one way to intro follow up with somebody, very first thing you say, whether it's messenger, email, or whatever. And then the second one is the, like I said, are you really gonna do it technique? And to some of you, this may seem kind of unusual or you may not like it, but I promise you, if you give this a try, it'll really work because it really gets people to think and it kind of gets them to sit back in their seat a little bit and go, whoa, what is this guy talking about? So with MCA in particular, we offer the income opportunity, okay? And when I follow up with some people, I tell them, hey, I noticed you didn't get back to me, because right when we first introduce them to it, we tell them at the very end, I need you to message me back right away. That way we can get you set up. So if they don't message me back, I tell them, hey, I didn't hear back from you. So I'm guessing that you're really not that serious about making money with my team, ? Or ... Okay. So again, I haven't heard back from you, John. So I'm guessing that you're not really very serious about making money with my team, ... Okay. And that just, when somebody reads that, they think, man, I'm not that serious. Like he's saying, I'm not that serious about it. It gets them to sit back in their seat and go, whoa, and that makes them think, are they really that serious about making money and improving their situation, right? So for some people, they might get slightly uneasy about it, but it's okay. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get them to kind of not be comfortable, right? Because people need to be uncomfortable if they're going to be successful. So that technique works very well when you're following up with somebody initially right away, because as soon as they read that, they're going to be like, oh, well, I need to talk to this guy and let him know I am serious, right? They have something to prove, right? So they have something to prove to you, and they're going to say, hey, I am serious. And a lot of times it's followed up with another excuse, but such and such happened. And then you address that, okay? So those are the two things, urgency and the are you serious question, right? All right, but those two things are very effective. But again, you're going to have to continue the conversation. So when you continue the conversation, it's very important. If they don't decide to get in right then and there, that you need to let them know. And normally I will qualify them right there and I will tell them, okay, I've got hundreds of people. If you haven't already said this, I've got hundreds of people coming to me for information on my product, service, or opportunity. So I need to know by, and then set a date, or I need to know by tonight, however you're feeling that day, I guess, if you're serious about this and you're ready to move forward. So let's pick a date when you'll be ready. And then after they pick a day and time that works for them, I ask them, are you for sure on that day it's going to happen? And get them to tell you yes. Get them to commit. They have to commit to doing it, right? And to me, that's what follow-up's all about, is getting them to commit to following through, because you've already dedicated time with them, right? And we really don't want to go beyond 2 or 3 follow-ups unless you have your email autoresponder doing the work for you. But if you're manually following up, you don't want to waste your time on one person for too long. Get them to commit right then and there. And when they set the date in Messenger, go to the I tab at the top right corner, go down to set a plan, okay? And then set the plan for the date and time that they're going to get started. And even make it a fun title like John's ready to make some money on October 29th or whatever, right? Or making magic happen. I do all kinds of funny titles just to have fun with it, right? Set that date and time. And then when that happens, you get a reminder. They get a reminder. You can see if they viewed the reminder, which is very important. And once you've seen that they viewed it, then you can follow up and say, hey, let's get you started. Here's all the info, and boom, just hit them with it, right? And wait for an answer, see what they say. If they're not serious, push them away. You can keep your email follow-ups going with them or whatever, that's fine. Eventually they're going to want to join you. But at that point in time, that really puts them in the hot seat. Are you going to do it or not, right? Like, this is the time is right now. And at that time, don't let any excuses go by. It's the 3rd time, right? So you need to make sure you're serious and say, hey, look, I got a few people I'm training right now. We need to get you in on this training today. Let's get you going. And it's up to them ultimately if they want to follow through or not. So those are 2 quick techniques that you can use. Again, build urgency. Always building urgency when you follow up, that right now is the best time. Because if you believe in your opportunity enough and you know that it's a life-changing opportunity, or this is something that could help improve someone's life, your product or service, then you need to be urgent about it. You guys need to get in right now or as soon as you can, because we want to get you trained. We want to help you as soon as possible. We want you to learn all this material as quickly as possible. That way you can become successful as quickly as possible. And sometimes I'll even ask them this question, and you already know it's a yes answer, right? Remember what we talked about in one of the last videos, asking yes questions. You want them to say yes to your question, right? I'll ask them, hey, do you want to go fast? That's simple. Do you want to go fast? Do you want to become successful fast? Everybody's going to say yes to that, right? So by asking them that, they say, okay, yes. Once they say yes to that, I say, okay, here are the steps. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the training. Get them to sign up, get them to buy whatever you're doing in your business, right? And then there you go. It's a perfect segue. Do you want to go fast? They say yes, and then hit them with the info, and they should sign up at that point. So there are 2 quick follow-up techniques for you. And again, make sure you're just setting up a concrete date and time for them to get started, okay? Make sure everything you do in follow-up is very concrete, and let them know, and be sort of stern about it, right? Like, this is serious. This is their future. And you can even explain that to them in voice recording, like I said, because that's a very valuable tool to use in voice. So if I see that they're kind of on edge, I'll put on the voice recorder and say, hey, look, John, I believe that you can do this. We've had a long conversation. I think you'd be a great fit for this. But if you don't act on it right now, think about it. Are you ever going to act on it? And do you really want to wait 2 years from now when you see my business is successful and thinking, man, I really wish I would have done that? Probably not, right? So let's get you on board with this thing right now. I'll get you trained. I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to guide you every single step of the way to help you become successful. That's my mission in this business, is to help everybody on the team. We're going to get you there. So let's get started right now. And I'll say words like right now, today, whatever, words of urgency multiple times throughout, right? I want to repeat the urgency over and over and over again. Right now, today, as soon as possible, quickly, fast. And those types of words, psychologically, they'll build a pattern in their thinking, okay, that they need to act right now. So again, with follow-up, set a concrete date and time. Make sure that you're acting with urgency, and don't waste too much time on one person. If they're not serious right away and it's a 2nd or 3rd follow-up and you can kind of tell they're not into it, just push them away. Eventually they'll come back, I promise you. Qualifying is so important. Do not waste too much time on one person. Trust me, do not do it. There are thousands and thousands, millions of people out there that are qualified for your opportunity, product, or service. If they say no, don't be down on yourself. Go look for more people. There's way more people out there, and a lot more people out there that are probably going to jump on it right away. Think about it. You may not even have to follow up with the next person you talk to. They may get on board right away. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps you guys with your follow-ups, and I'll see you on the next video.